Mr. Chowdhury, I'm Kathleen Parker, and I have a question for you. If I understood you correctly, you said a bit ago that you support any Muslim doing the work of a Muslim. Can you describe exactly what you mean by the work of a Muslim?
Yes, I believe that Islam is submission, and that applies to every aspect of our life, whether in our relationship with our families, our relationship with society, even the way that we address people and invite them to Islam. Jihad is not something which, the Muslims are permanently engaged in, but there is jihad to liberate Muslim land, which is an obligation for the Muslims to support, verbally, financially, and physically, to liberate and to defend our life and our property. And of course, this is something, the Muslims around the world, I don't think will differ with. They may say one thing to you in front of CNN, but I can assure you, behind your backs, in every masajid, in every community center, they are standing with their Muslim brothers and sisters saying, we hope the Americans and British are pushed out of our countries and we can implement the Sharia. So this is an Islamic obligation for us to support our brothers around the world. Our land is one, our war is one, our peace is one, our honor is one. But we don't need to be in a constant state of this flux of, a cycle of violence. I think that we can have a decent relationship. You withdraw your troops, stop supporting the pirate state of Israel, and then perhaps we can have a dialogue and discussion. These warnings are there in the statements of Sheikh Osama bin Laden, Sheikh Ayman al-Zawahiri, Adam Ghaddan. Why is the American establishment not taking heed? I think that is the real question.
But you also want to impose Sharia law where you live. Does that mean does the work of a Muslim mean imposing Sharia law on everyone who is not a Muslim, including Americans?
Look, the Sharia law is the divine law sent by God to the final messenger, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is justice for mankind. It will take mankind out of the shackles of man-made law into the perfection and beauty of divine law. So of course I want that everywhere. I want to share that with you. Surely it's a very noble thing to invite someone to a superior way of life. If I believe that people are being oppressed, why should I not invite them to come out of that oppression? I believe that the Americans, the British, indeed most of the world, have been living in the darkness of the hegemony and the exploitation of man-made law for many, many decades. But, when we open the door, when we shine the light, people don't like the light. But, I think you'll find that when people actually have a look at Islam, when they look at the Sharia, they will see that it, in fact, has a solution for every single problem that is facing America and Britain nowadays, from the inflation to the credit crunch to the exploitation.
Mr. Chowdhury, are you communicating with individuals in the United States and encouraging them to participate in attacks of this sort?
Of course I am. I am participating in communication with people all around the world. As you know, the internet makes the world a very small place. We have a lot of support, in fact, post-Wotton Bassett, from people as far afield as Indonesia, from India.
Mr. Chowdhury, based upon your answer, I believe, and I'm sure many prosecutors will listen to your answer, you have violated U.S. law. You deserve to be arrested, prosecuted, jailed for the rest of your life. That is what you, sir, deserve. You're a violent and heinous terrorist.
I will say to you, well, you can use as much pejorative. You can use as much pejorative as you wish. But my invitation is a peaceful one to people to embrace Islam and to warn them, obviously, of the consequences of occupying Muslim land. I think that's a very decent thing. If we said to you, look, there's not going to be any consequence by people attacking Muslims, then
I think
that would be not a very honorable thing to say.
Generations from now, we will be able to look back and tell our children that this was the moment when we began to provide care for the sick and good jobs for the jobless. This was the moment when the rise of the ocean began to slow and our planet began to heal. This was the moment when we ended the war and secured our nation and restored our image as the last best hope on earth.